Welcome back, everyone, to A Course in Miracles in Practice. Really glad you're choosing to spend this time with us.
Absolutely. It's great to be exploring this together.
So we're going to be looking through the lens of that profound truth. God is but love, and therefore so am I.
And we genuinely want to hear how this whole process is landing for you. Are things clicking? Are you noticing maybe small shifts or even big ones in how you view the world, or maybe just yourself?
Keep sharing those insights, please, and definitely send in your questions. You can always reach us at ACIM at theworldharmonyproject.org or find us on TikTok and YouTube at The World Harmony Project.
We love getting those questions. It really helps us see where people are at with this material. And if you find this helpful, please, spread the word. This review. Review 5, we're focusing on Lesson 157, Into His Presence Would I Enter Now, and Lesson 158, Today I Learn to Give as I Receive.
And framing it all with, God is but love, and therefore so am I. We've talked about that theme before, so we won't re-explain it totally, but it's the key, isn't it?
It really is the foundation. The Course basically says, this is the fundamental truth about who you are. All the fear, the judgment, the feeling of being separate, it all stems from forgetting this, from believing somehow we got disconnected from love itself.
Which sounds impossible when you say it like that, but it feels so real sometimes.
Doesn't it? That's the illusion. So when we look at Lesson 157, Into His Presence Would I Enter Now, it's about recognizing God's presence isn't out there. It's right here. It's actually the essence of who you are always.
Always within us. Okay.
Yeah. So entering His presence is about letting go. Letting go of the fearful thoughts, the small self we think we are, all that noise. It's making room to become aware of the boundless love that's our actual reality.
So stepping out of the mental chatter.
Right, out of that noisy world inside our heads and just settling into the quiet certainty of our true self, the self that's always connected, always loved.
Okay, that makes sense. So if recognizing this presence, this love within, is the goal of 157, how does that flow into Lesson 158, Today I Learn to Give as I Receive? Because honestly, in the world, giving often feels like loss.
Oh, absolutely. From the ego's viewpoint, it has to feel like loss because the ego believes everything is limited. Scarcity is its whole game. Give something away, you have less.
Right.
But if you shift perspective, if you start from Lesson 157's recognition, I am in His presence, I am this boundless love, then giving becomes completely natural. It's not sacrifice. It's just an extension. An overflowing of what you inherently are.
Like the lamp idea. A lamp doesn't lose light by shining. Shining is what it does.
Exactly. Perfect analogy. You're not diminishing yourself when you extend love or forgiveness or even just simple kindness. You're actually confirming who you truly are. You're being that love.
Okay.
And here's maybe a bit of an aha moment that ties these together, something that trips people up sometimes. The resistance we feel to giving, that reluctance, it's actually resistance to receiving.
Whoa, hang on. Resistance to giving is resistance to receiving. Sounds backwards. Unpack that.
Yeah, it does sound backwards from the ego's transactional mindset, right? Like giving and receiving are two separate opposing actions. But think about it from the Course's view. If you truly, deeply accept that you are love, that you are an extension of infinite abundance, then giving love isn't something you do with effort. It's just the natural expression of your being. It flows out. So if you feel hesitation, if it feels like a sacrifice, if you worry about being drained, that feeling itself is the signal.
A signal of what?
A signal that in that moment, you're not actually believing you are love. You're believing in lack. You're identifying with limitation, with that idea of an empty cup we need to talk about.
So if I hold back from giving, I'm basically reinforcing my own belief that I don't have enough. I'm denying my own abundance.
Precisely. You're denying the very love that is you, the love that sustains you. And that's why the Course hammers home. To give is to receive. It's not like you give first and then maybe you get something back later.
Yeah.
No. In the realm of spirit, the act of giving is the experience of receiving. It's how you realize the love you have. Think about it practically when you genuinely offer compassion to someone. Just listen without judgment. You don't usually feel drained afterwards, do you? In that moment of connection, you often feel peace, connection, maybe even joy. You receive the experience of being loving, of being connected.
Right. The act itself shows you what's inside. You feel the love as it extends. Okay. Wow.
Exactly. And you can see how radical this is compared to how the world usually operates. We're constantly told there's not enough time, energy, resources.
Definitely. Look at all the talk about self-care. meaning you have to protect your energy, build boundaries against others sometimes.
Right. And look, boundaries can be healthy communication tools.
Yeah.
But if the motivation behind self-care is fear of depletion, fear of running out, belief that your inner wellspring is finite, then it's actually coming from the ego's premise of lack. It misses the Course's point entirely.
So what's the Course's version of true self-care then, if it's not hoarding?
It's remembering who you are. It's aligning your mind with the truth. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Recognizing your inherent abundance. It's not about martyrdom, letting yourself be drained in the old sense. It's about knowing that any thought of depletion is just an illusion, a mistaken identity.
So giving from that place, the place of knowing your love.
It actually strengthens your awareness of that love. It allows it to flow. And because giving and receiving are one, it just naturally seems to flow back. Or rather, you experience the continuous flow that was always there.
Okay, that really sets up this fantastic listener question we got. It zeroes right in on this whole fill your cup idea, which, I mean, so many of us grapple with this.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very common point of confusion when you bring the Course's perspective into daily life. What did the listener ask?
Okay, they write, people say that you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. You have to fill your own cup first. Is it possible that this is true of the world of illusion? How does the Course view this idea?
Great question. And let's tackle the first part. Is it true in the world of illusion?
Yeah, let's be real about that.
Well, yeah. Within the framework of the everyday world, operating under the ego's rules of separation and limitation, that idea feels incredibly true and often functionally necessary. If you believe your energy, your patience, your love is a finite resource.
Which most of us do most of the time.
Right. Then you will experience burnout if you just keep giving without recharging. In that context, rest, boundaries, what we call self-care, it becomes essential just to keep functioning. If you neglect yourself believing you're limited, you can get unwell, resentful, and your ability to genuinely help others diminishes because you're running on empty, according to that belief system.
So from the ego's perspective, it's just practical wisdom.
Seems like it. But then the second part, how does the Course view it? The Course always invites us to look beyond the immediate experience and the illusion to the underlying reality. It doesn't say your feeling of depletion isn't real to you. It asks, where does that feeling come from?
And the answer is?
The answer is the ego's core belief in scarcity and separation. The whole concept of an empty cup that needs filling only makes sense if you believe you're separate from your source, separate from infinite love. If you believe you're this little isolated self, then of course resources feel limited. Love, peace, energy, they seem like things you can run out of.
So filling the cup in that mindset is like a constant struggle to get something from outside, validation, energy, stuff, to patch up a perceived hole inside.
Exactly.
Wow.
You're always trying to compensate for a lack you believe is real, but the Course flips this completely. Lesson 174. God is but love, and therefore so am I. Your true self isn't an empty cup waiting to be filled. It is the overflowing fountain. Limitless love, infinite abundance.
We're never actually empty.
Never. That feeling of emptiness, of depletion, it's not a statement about your true resources. It's a symptom of misidentification. You're mistaking yourself for the limited ego self instead of remembering your true unlimited self.
Wow, okay.
So the Course's approach isn't about frantically trying to fill a cup that's already overflowing. It's about remembering the fullness that's already there and simply allowing it to extend. Giving love, forgiveness, kindness. It's not draining your supply. It's how you experience the infinite supply that you are. It's lesson 158 in action. Today I learned to give as I receive. The giving is the receiving of the awareness of your fullness.
So the Course kind of radically redefines self-care. It's not about isolating yourself to hoard energy.
Not at all. It's about mind training. It's about correcting the mistaken belief in scarcity and separation in your mind. True self-care is choosing to see yourself and others through the Holy Spirit's eyes, through the eyes of love, which only sees wholeness, abundance, connection.
And when you align with that perspective,
You naturally feel full, not because you grabbed something from outside, but because you remembered who you truly are, your abundant self. And from that place of fullness, extending love isn't an effort or a drain. It's just this joyful, natural overflowing.
So let's give the listener a direct answer. Yes, in the experience of the illusion, filling your cup first can seem true and necessary if you're buying into the ego's premise of limitation.
Right. It's practical advice within that dream.
But the Course invites you to wake up to the deeper reality. Your cup is eternally full because you are the love that fills it. Any feeling of emptiness is just a signal, a call to remember your true identity and extend the love that you are.
And living from that understanding, it makes giving joyous, expansive, and completely non-depleting. Thank you for that question, listener. It's fantastic.
It really is. And, it connects to something else too, doesn't it? That feeling of intense depletion, the empty cup. It reminds me of lesson 136.
Sickness is a defense against the truth. Yes. That's a challenging one for many people.
It is. How does it connect here?
Well, the Course offers a really distinct view on sickness. That feeling of being utterly drained, like your cup is bone dry and you have to stop, you have to withdraw. From the Course's perspective, this isn't just your body running out of fuel randomly. It's often a manifestation, a symptom of deeply believing the ego's story. The story that you are separate, limited, lacking, vulnerable.
So the belief itself, the belief that I'm insufficient, that I need to get something from outside because I'm empty. That's the defense.
Exactly. It's a defense against the staggering truth that God is but love, and therefore so am I. It's defending against the reality that your cup is always full, that you are limitless, whole, and eternally safe in that love. By choosing, in your mind, to believe in scarcity and depletion, you're actively pushing away, defending against your own inherent wholeness.
And the body, being part of this world of perception, kind of becomes the screen where this mental defense plays out.
That's a good way to put it. The empty cup feeling, the belief in depletion, it's central to the ego's thought system. And illness, whether physical or emotional, can then arise from that thought system, serving as a defense against recognizing our true, invulnerable, abundant self. It makes the belief in lack seem concrete, real.
So the physical experience becomes like proof for the mind that the ego's story of separation and scarcity is true. The belief in depletion fuels the defense that makes illness seem necessary.
Precisely. The belief in being empty is part of the whole defensive strategy to keep the truth of our limitless nature hidden.
Seriously, listener, thanks. That was like a 2-for-1 insight based on your question. If that Course view on illness feels tricky, maybe revisiting lesson 136, thinking about it in terms of this empty cup defense, could shed some new light.
Definitely worth pondering. Okay, so let's maybe wrap up the key takeaways from today's review dive.
Sounds good.
Fundamentally, it's remembering. We are extensions of God's love. Because God is but love, and therefore so am I, our default setting isn't lack, it's abundance. It's giving and receiving as one seamless flow.
And when we consciously choose to step into His presence, which just means recognizing the love that's already inside us, we naturally start to learn to give as we receive. We allow that boundless love to flow through us, and in doing so, we experience our own unending fullness.
And remember, this is a practice. It takes consistent but gentle effort to retrain the mind, so maybe a little exercise for you to try.
Yeah, let's offer something practical.
Okay. Just throughout your day, start consciously noticing moments where you're giving. Could be tiny things, a patient response instead of irritation, a kind word, holding a door, really listening to someone. Just notice the giving. And then pay close attention to what you feel inside yourself in return. Not what you get back externally, but the internal shift. Do you feel a little flicker of peace, a sense of connection, maybe just a quiet okayness? Focus on that inner experience.
Because the point isn't getting thanked or reciprocated.
Right. The point is to notice how the very act of extending love brings you into contact with the love that you are. It's a direct way to experience, right, in your own body and mind, that giving and receiving are truly the same thing.
That's a powerful practice. As you do that, ask yourself, if giving truly is receiving, what belief about myself might be holding me back from letting that love flow more freely? Maybe I'm not enough, or that the world is scarce. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this deep dive today. We really appreciate you being here. We'll be back next time moving into lesson 175.
Looking forward to it. Take care until then.